Welcome to First Touch, your Mason Cable Network show for all things soccer, brought to you by Oscar Avalar and Bicker Michael. Thank you for tuning in to our inaugural episode. Let's talk about Chelsea. Can Chelsea return to their glory days? Head coach Frank Lampard and club director Marina Granovskaya have bolstered up their squad with many signings this summer transfer window. They look to improve upon last season's results and take Chelsea back to the mountaintop that they sat on when Lampard was a player. Since winning the tournament in 2012, Champions League glory has been elusive in more ways than one. Their first move was to secure Eden Hazard, a young and up-and-coming Belgian talent that every club sought out. Yet Chelsea came out as victors of those sweepstakes. What they did with the time Hazard was on the team, they had some good memories, but definitely didn't maximize their efforts. 2 seasons without Champions League participation spell inconsistency for the club. And with the club teetering between becoming a Champions League team and a Europa League team, it was easy to tell that the club wasn't making the right signings to maintain their superior level. After last season's transfer ban and the exit of Eden Hazard to Real Madrid, Chelsea was left with a dire need of change. The aging, inconsistent squad needed a new look, but a transfer ban, it seemed impossible to collect themselves and secure a top 4 spot to play in the Champions League the next season. Enter Frank Lampard. The former legend who played for the Blues from 2001 to 2014 had only 1 season in management with second division side Derby County. This was prior to taking the management role at Chelsea with former coach Maurizio Sarri's departure in 2019. He knew the situation was rough, but he had a plan to promote academy players and fight the Chelsea way for results. He needed to bring the club a lifeline, a winning mentality, a team structure that could become serial winners like he was in his playing days. The season ended with a 4th place finish despite the uncertainty and media criticism of the club. Lampard's team of promoted youth players and aging players secured a much-needed berth in the Champions League for this, and that's where the fun began. Chelsea had already secured the services of Hakim Ziyech, former Ajax playmaker, to add to the attack. Then came the signing of striker Timo Werner, a well-established, young and prolific goalscorer from RB Leipzig. Chelsea continued to complement the rest of the squad with a needed rejuvenation at the left-back position with Ben Chilwell, a highly touted player by Lampard. The club went on to sign a young centre-back in Malang Sarr on a free transfer, as well as veteran and world-class centre-back Thiago Silva on a free transfer from PSG. We've finally seen the club reach an agreement for Kai Havertz, a 21-year-old player regarded as the next big thing in Germany. The squad is finally looking exciting, but it is still too early to tell if Lampard can pull it together and put out an 11 that can challenge for titles. This is the main goal at the club now, to win. They have learned their lesson in coming short, and the club realizes that. Only time will tell if they get this right.
Yeah, listen, Chelsea have had a lot of problems recently, but at least they were able to address it with a lot of, new blood, new signings into their team. Speaking of a team that's had a lot of problems recently, that's FC Barcelona. As you can see, I have the jersey right here, right behind me. Listen, we all know what happened in the Champions League, 8-2 loss to Bayern Munich, and you see how Bayern Munich have strengthened their squad, even though they lost Thiago today to Liverpool. They got Leroy Sané in the summer. Now, Barcelona is in a transition period. They got rid of previous manager Quique Setien, but he's also in the news recently. As of today, he's taken him to court over their compensation package, and the whole thing with the board is a mess. Looking at some transfer news, obviously we know that they signed Miralem Pjanic. Officially, he was unveiled as a Barca player this past week after his move from Juventus, but a lot of Barca fans obviously weren't happy that a young player like Arthur, 23 years old, he had some injury problems, but Pjanic is a class player, is a quality player, but he's, wrong side of 30. Arthur is 23 years old, and so, making moves like that, going for the older players instead of, the young blood, hasn't, necessarily helped Josep Bartomeu get the fans on his side. There's still some deals going on, like there's a deal with Memphis Depay, still ongoing. Obviously, they signed, Barcelona have got a new Dutch manager, Ronald Koeman, club legend, winner of the 1982 Champions League with them. But there will be no Lautaro Martinez, according to trusted Italian source Fabrizio Romano. And in terms of Memphis Depay, AC Milan are also interested in him, and they want to bring him in as part of a swap deal with Lucas Paqueta. But obviously that is not a done deal, and also Memphis Depay has picked up number 10 this season, so for Lyon. So who knows if he's gonna stay or not? So that's a big question mark. In terms of Luis Suarez, at first it seemed like he was going to Juventus, but not anymore because Juventus got Dutch or Bosnian star Edin Dzeko, and now it's Diego Simeone and Atletico Madrid who's looking to bring him in. But obviously, Suarez's time has, a lot of Barca fans will tell you his time has been gone. He's old, he's picking up injury problems, he's lost a yard of pace. And in terms of fullback, a lot of Barca fans are not happy with Nelson Semedo, and so they're looking to pick up American Serginho Dest from Ajax. But once again, Bayern are the thorn to Barca's side. They're looking to swoop in for that deal. It was reported that Barca beat both Man City and Bayern for the signing of Serginho Dest, but unfortunately that's not the case. And Bayern have actually offered 50 million to Ajax for Dest, but Ajax won 25 million, so that's still another ongoing issue. And for Koeman's Dutch revolution to come into full effect this season, it depends on him selling deadwood to make way for his favorites. The club need money. We all know what happened with Coutinho, all that money spent only for him to win the Champions League with Bayern, defeating Barca, and also on top of that, Barca had to pay Liverpool as part of a clause. And they need to sell players like Semedo, Suarez, maybe even Sergio Busquets in order to bring in the likes of Dest, Depay, and even Wijnaldum from Liverpool. And Koeman will reportedly have to manage Barcelona on La Liga's opening day from the stands until the club sort this whole severance package deal with ex-coach Quique Setien. And he has actually released a statement saying he was only formally sacked yesterday, even though the club announced it was August 17th. So there's a lot of issues going on in Barcelona at this moment in time. I just want to talk about the couple preseason games that went on real quickly. The first game was this past weekend. They played second division side Gymnastic. They beat them 3-1. Goals by Dembele, Griezmann, and Coutinho. But it was a sloppy game. There was lots of fouls from the home side. Messi was quiet. He was subbed after halftime, and they the only good parts of the game were handing the debut to another American, Conrad de la Fuente, and then also new signing Trincao in the left wings, Portuguese signing. He did well as well, and also Araujo, a Uruguayan center back. He did well. Like we said, Semedo was shaky, and the home side scored the best goal of the match because Barca only scored 2 penalties, and the goal by Dembele was just a sloppy goal. And then also another game was a couple days ago. They played Girona. They beat them 3-1, another 3-1 victory. This time Messi scored 2 excellent goals, and then Coutinho chipped in as well. For the first goal, it was a great combination play. Messi split the defense like we're accustomed to seeing, and then Trincao got it and squared it to Coutinho for easy finish. Barca dominated the first half. Coutinho and Messi were forcing saves, and then Messi scored from the outside of the box with his right foot, which is not something that we're used to seeing. But Girona equalized quickly after the restart, and they made it 2-1, but Messi's deflection made it 3-1 4 minutes later. And like we were saying, players like Trincao, like Ronald Araujo in the back, they had a very promising game. Trincao had a very good game, and Barca are starting to get an understanding with their forward players, but they still need to work on doing the same in the back, like we mentioned with their fullbacks, with both Jordi Alba and Nelson Semedo underperforming. And the next game is actually tomorrow afternoon at 1 o'clock versus Elche, and they play Joan Gamper Trophy Final, which is basically Barca's preseason cup. It's only one game, and it's labeled as a final. You make it that way you will. And after the game, the second game, Ronald Koeman came out to the press and said, if I had to highlight one of the youngsters, I would say Conrad de la Fuente. I'm really happy with him, so U.S. fans should really get excited because there's a lot of youngsters in Europe who are doing well for the USMNT. I have a little segment for us to end the show real quickly. That's for you, my friend. That's for you. And so it's going to be just to tell our viewers, this is going to be a segment that we do every single time we record. And so we'll have like a trivia segment where we talk about, a certain player and bring up, 3 of his stats. The first one being vague, the second one is intermediate, and the last one is going to be pretty obvious. And so just give those stats, who he played for, what league he was in, maybe a stat from his international days as well. And so we obviously want you guys to participate as well. And so if you guys get it right, make sure you leave us a comment or a note as well. But yeah, let's get to it. Oscar, you ready?
Yeah, what do you have for me, man? I'm ready.
All right, so this player right here is a player who's played in 3 top divisions in Europe, including Bundesliga, the Serie A, and Premier League. That's your first hint.
That's pretty hard. There's a lot of players. Let me get that next hint.
So this player has played in Bundesliga, Serie A, the Premier League, and he's played alongside the likes of Mario Balotelli, Wojciech Szczesny, and Stefan El Shaarawy.
Okay, first thing I'm thinking is this might be an Arsenal player.
All right, you want to go ahead, or should I give you the last hint?
Go ahead and give me that last hint. Maybe that'll make it a little easier.
Okay, cool. All right, so I played in 3 top divisions in Europe, including the Bundesliga, Serie A, and Premier League. I played alongside the likes of Mario Balotelli, Wojciech Szczesny, and Stefan El Shaarawy, and I scored and had a goal wrongly disallowed for my nation at the 2014 World Cup, and we didn't make it past the group stage.
Oh man, disallowed a goal in the World Cup. I immediately think Lampard, but
So either a Nigerian player, a Bosnian player, or Iranian player who's played with Balotelli, Szczesny, and El Shaarawy.
oh my, I hate to say it, but this was the first thing I was gonna say when you said the leagues, just from the leagues. Is it Dzeko?
Yeah.
Oh my god, I should have trusted my gut. I had it. Thank you for giving me that interesting bit of trivia. I think next time we do this, I should trust my gut. Looking forward to the next one. I think I'll be testing you on this one, right?
Yep. So I'm looking forward to whatever you bring up.
All right, I'll get you on that one.
Yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure if you guys have any comments or anything, let us know. And also be on the lookout. We will be doing player interviews with members of both the men's and women's soccer team. So yeah, looking forward to some great quality content for you guys.
We can't wait to show you what we can do and give you some quality content, like you said. So thanks for tuning in. Until next time, I'm Oscar.
I'm Bicker. Work on your first touch.
Goodbye.